back, baby. Here we are. We're on the MPC Live 2 again. MPC Vids is no longer. I will no longer be uploading to that channel.
Rest in peace.
All my beat making stuff is going to be on one channel, and there's going to be more of a focus on beat making tips and beat making tricks now, rather than specifically just SP devices. Obviously the SP devices are always going to feature, but I want to broaden my horizons. I've got these 4 beats here, and I'm going to just show you what I've been up to on the MPC. So I haven't done enough beat making on this device. I want to sort of get to the point where I've done 50, 100, 150 beats on this thing, and really see if I enjoy the workflow of it. Could be thinking of having a bit of a clear out of gear soon, because I just have way too many samplers now, and I don't get to use them all because there's just, well, yeah, because I just own too many. I'm gonna have to start really seriously considering what samplers I want to let go of. So 4 beats here, time, let's check this one out, let's load it in. Okay. It's mellow. There's some really unquantized stuff going on in there. There's definitely some percussion stuff, which I think at this moment I was trying a lot harder to incorporate more percussion and kind of be a bit more experimental with that side of things. And you can hear kind of polyrhythms going on underneath. So what I was trying to do is kind of generate random rhythms of percussion underneath that complemented the beat and kind of just ran really subtly underneath. It could have been a time when I was either listening to 1-2 or Raj G. I think those 2 artists were influencing this kind of style of stuff that I was doing. So yeah, that's really not the kind of style of stuff that I usually make, but it's kind of cool to hear that I've been a bit experimental. I've got the jazzy vibes, which I obviously use quite a lot, well, pretty much all the time, to be honest. But yeah, the beat and the tempo are definitely very down tempo for me. So interesting to listen to. Let's go to the next one, which is called Silence. Load this up and see what this one sounds like. Okay. Definitely more of a vibe with this one. Definitely preferring that sort of vibe of things. Yeah, a little bit more up tempo. Again, I used the percussion in the background of that one. Hopefully that comes across. They are quite subtle, those percussion hits that I'm using, but that sounded a lot better than the first one, I think, in my personal opinion, just because it had a bit more life to it. It had a bit more energy and character, and I just kind of enjoyed the idea a little bit better. So that's definitely something that I could work on potentially. Again, it does sound a little bit different to my usual sort of stuff, but I kind of dig what that was sounding like. So let's have a look at the next one. This one's called Chill Piano. Chill Piano, probably one of the most pointless names for a lo-fi hip-hop beat. I think I've called about 20-30 beats in the past Chill Piano. So let's see what this one sounds like. I assume it's going to be some jazzy piano stuff. Yeah, okay. Okay, this is much more me. One thing that I really want to do straight away is actually just pitch that snare up a little bit. So let's go to sample edit, and I'm going to tune that up about 2. I've actually tuned that up 4 now. So that's definitely way more my style. The jazzy samples, the kind of murky mix. I really like the texture of that one. I think it sounds nice. I think the drums could maybe be a little bit more prominent. There's probably too much of the high end rolled off those. Maybe I could actually have a look if there's a filter on this. Maybe I've put a filter on. Yeah, so I have. I've got an air filter. So if I could just cut this a little bit. Yeah, and there we go. That's sounding way nicer. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Cool, that sounds way better with just a little less of the high frequencies cut off. I'm doing a kind of low pass filter on that with air filter. So I'm just going to go back to main and actually save that because I actually like it quite a lot. And you can hear the drums a little bit more there, so it's sounding a little bit nicer. I don't want to go into too much detail with either of these because time is of the essence, but we'll check out this last one now, Blev. Very odd name, B-L-E-V. I don't know what I was thinking when I called it Blev. It's not a real word, but I've never used that as a kind of colloquial term either, so no idea why it's called Blev. But let's have a listen to this one, see what this one sounds like as well. Ooh, yeah, I like the way that loop finishes off. It's really nice. Weird thing I noticed with this one actually is that there is a sub bass line in there. That is not the weird thing. That is weird for me, by the way, because I've rarely ever put my own sub bass on. I just tend to kind of try and rely on the sample and boost the lows in the sample. I need to get better at it basically, but in this particular beat it has got a sub bass line, but I still feel like there's something missing in the mix. It's quite a weird sensation when you're listening to it. It feels like there's a lot at the top and a lot at the bottom, but there's nothing in the middle. There's no like, I don't know, there's no like body to the beat. I think that's probably the best way of describing it. So it sounds like a lot of layers that are all a little bit disconnected. I think that's a good term as well. Yeah, it sounds a little bit disconnected. It needs something to like pull it all together, maybe a compressor or something like that. Maybe I'll stick that air. Oh, it already has got air filter on the master. So maybe I'll pull this down a little bit. Let's change Q link up. And I do actually think that the sample is a little bit too loud. Don't know, I'm still getting that feeling with that. It's very weird. It's missing its body, definitely. And I think maybe I could try and run that through something like an MS1 and really, really dirty it up, and that might mean it's a salvageable beat. I even added some 303 compression there on the Mark II, and it still wasn't really like gelling it together. So it's a nice sounding beat, and I really, really like the way that the end of the loop kind of resolves itself. I think that's definitely something that's worth keeping just for that. But something with the mix is really weird with that one, and it obviously needs some work. I obviously have tried to do some work because I've got a vintage compressor on it, I've got air filter and air lo-fi all going on the master. So I have tried there to do some work to try and pull it all together, but I don't know, sometimes with beats it just doesn't work. So I guess with that one, maybe it hasn't worked too well. But yeah, I think out of those four, let's have a look. One was a bit weird, that wasn't really my style, but possibly something that could be worked on. It was a bit too down tempo for me. The second one was, again, a little bit different to what I usually do, but there was definitely a vibe with that one. So that's 100% a keeper. Chill piano, that's just what I do, that's my bread and butter. So obviously I was happy with that one. And yeah, looked at those drums, just pulled back that low pass filter a little bit, and that kind of cleaned up the mix a little bit and made it sound quite nice. So Blev, yep, I'm really sorry. I think you're a bit of a lost cause, but all those other beats, apart from Time, so basically Silence and Chill Piano, I think they're definitely keepers. They could probably be made into full beats, and I'd be happy to release them.